Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ziza here. If you're new, thank you so much for watching. Today's video is going to be all about topics surrounding micro-influencers / content creators and getting paid by brands, collaborations, fees, money, all that type of stuff. But it's mostly going to be about my experience and things that I've learned. So please, if you have any different experiences or if you know anything else, please just pop it in the comments below and we can all just have like a very open conversation about this. I did put up a Q&A on my Instagram story a couple of days ago and a lot of people asked me a lot of different questions. So I won't be specifically answering each question, but I will be, like, everything I say will be covered by every one of those questions asked, if that makes sense. So let's get into it. Okay, so just to start, I want to tell you what I do, how many followers I have, all that kind of stuff, so it just makes a little bit more sense. So, I have a YouTube account, a TikTok account, and an Instagram account. So YouTube, I have about just over 300 subscribers. TikTok, I have almost 40,000 followers, and then Instagram, I think I have about 8.2k thousand followers. That together, I think I fall under the micro-influencer / content creator category. Just for a little bit of background, influencer marketing is a huge thing. It works, and brands have recognized that it worked. So influencer marketing is essentially a brand giving you a product to promote and the influencer promoting it on their platforms. And now because brands have really seen that it has worked, they're kind of moving that direction to more influencer marketing than regular marketing. So they're usually sending out a lot of their products to influencers to get them to promote their products. I just want to make it clear that anyone with a public platform, no matter how many followers you have, I don't think you realize the level of influence that you have, even if it is just sharing a product that you genuinely like, or you know, you're being sent a product and you want to try it and then give your thoughts on it. You have the potential to influence so many people, and I think that is a huge and amazing thing in itself, and that needs to be recognized by bigger brands. So the issue that I want to talk about today is that I've experienced, and I've seen a lot of people experience, that really big brands take quite a big advantage of smaller influencers or content creators. Just as an example, I'm not going to kind of include any brand names or anything, but just as an example, I was contacted by this really big brand and to be sent some products, and in exchange I would need to basically post an interactive story, an interactive video, and a permanent post on my Instagram feed. And all of that they wanted in like a really short time frame, and they did not basically essentially pay me. When the brand originally first reached out to me, I was like, whoa, like me, I was so excited, just as anyone would be. And I said yes, of course, like straight away. Producing that content literally took me like over 2 days, because the first day I got it wrong and I just really wanted to be perfect. So it took a lot of time and effort for me to get the final result that I was happy with, and then I posted it and everything was, you know, really great, and they really liked my work and they wanted me to do it again. So this time around I said yes, I'd be happy, but however, I really want to be paid this time because I put a lot of effort into it. I just want to make it clear that as a content creator, you film, so you take care of all the filming, photography, prep, all the setups, all the editing, all the cleanup, marketing, like literally everything. You take care of everything, and this is something that brands will normally hire people for. So they will hire photographers, they will hire videographers to do all of that stuff for them. But where influencer marketing is so influential is that this comes across a lot more relatable and less kind of professional by getting it done by influencers and then promoting it on their own channels. So that's where I think like influencer marketing is such a huge thing and a really good way of marketing, because it makes it so much more relatable and for the audience. You're working for free, basically. You're doing all this work, and being paid by a free gift or like a free product is not worth it. It's not enough. Like, that's literally underpayment. The brand said no, and I said, okay, if you say no to payment, then I don't want to create a permanent feed post. I don't want to do an interactive video, but I'm just happy to share my thoughts on my story. And even to that, they were like, no. And I was just like, you're asking me to do the absolute most for absolutely like no payment whatsoever. And I thought we were just so cheeky and like just rude, because if you were a bigger influencer, these brands would 100% have the budget to pay you, and they do have the budget because every single brand will have a marketing budget, and influencer marketing is a marketing strategy. I hope you kind of understand where I'm coming from, in the sense that if you have a small account and if you are a micro influencer, you have the great potential to be a huge influence and generate sales, exposure and everything by every product that you are promoting. So next, a lot of people wanted to know about how I get collabs. Do I reach out to companies? Do I reach out to brands? All of that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to tell you my whole experience of my journey so far. I've been doing this for about 10 months. So I've been really fortunate where a lot of brands have actually reached out to me, and I haven't actually reached out to any brands yet. So I can't really say specifically on how I'd reach out to a brand because I haven't done it yet, but I can give you some tips which I will move on to a bit later into the video. This is what I do when a brand approaches me to collab. So usually I'll get an email or a DM and they'll say, hey, we want to collaborate on this product and we want you to do this and this. So whether that's like a permanent feed post or story or a TikTok video. And then I'll go back and say yes or no, like if I want to collaborate or if I don't. If I say yes, I'll say, yes, I'm happy to collaborate. However, I do charge for permanent feed posts, and this is the package that I'll provide if you want to go ahead with that. And then, you know, some brands are really understanding about payment and they'll be happy, and they might be willing to negotiate if they don't have the budget or anything. The ones that say no to like payment or anything, then I'll say, if I really want the product, then I'll say, okay, if that's the case, then I'll be happy to take the product, but the most I will do is post a story on it and post my honest and genuine review on it. And if a brand is happy to do that, then that's it, we collab. If they say no, then I'll just let them know. As simple as that. I just want to kind of struck the balance here because I know, like, as small creators, it's really exciting when we get collaboration opportunities, and obviously like, we want the stuff, like who doesn't, you know, like it's nice. So I think this is the way I do it. So if you do it in a different way, please let me know. And if you don't agree with this way, then that's completely fine. But this is just how I do it. So for me, I will balance out how much I want the product versus how much they're asking for. As an example, I recently collaborated with a mirror company, and this mirror company I've been following for absolute years. I've always wanted one of their mirrors. I just kind of never got around to it. So when they wanted to collab, they said it was like just a gifted collab. And for me, so this is how I kind of calculated in my head that, okay, I want this mirror. I think all they asked for was just a permanent feed post. And I knew that if I had that mirror, if I bought it myself, that would be on my feed anyway. And because it was just a simple feed post that I would have done anyway, for me, it was kind of a no-brainer. Like, I want the mirror, all they're asking for is a feed post. I knew I was going to do that anyway. So that for me was like, okay, I'll just happily do it. So I think like it really depends on what you feel comfortable with a content creator, but obviously I just want to make everyone aware that if you can get paid for your content, you should be asking for it first and foremost. Speaking on to gifted collabs, with gifted collabs, if I do accept quite a few gifted collabs, mostly from small businesses. With small businesses, I do find it quite hard to say no, so a lot of my gifted collabs do come from small businesses, and obviously if I can help in any way possible, then it's great. But with gifted collabs, I make it very clear that the only thing I will do is just a story post. So for me, a story post is very little effort, so that's why I'm happy to agree to do a story post for them. So now we'll go on to fees and how much I've made as a content creator so far. Okay, so my fees, and please bear in mind that I am actually undercharging. I've heard a huge range of different charges, so I am not fully sure yet of like a permanent fee that I have because I'm still trying to find my way around it. So far I charge, for bigger brands, I charge a minimum of £100 for a permanent feed post or video, or just making content that they can use and keep forever, basically. However, with smaller businesses, it kind of does range. So I've done collabs with smaller businesses, and where I have only charged them like £30 for a post or something if they're happy to pay. It kind of just does range, but usually I will say, do you have a budget? And then if they say, how much do you charge, I'll say my fees, and then we can try to figure out a negotiation. I've seen quite a few different videos of people saying that they charge for up to like £1,000 more, and depending on how many followers you have as well, that's a huge difference. And the same with engagement rate. If you can negotiate, try and negotiate as much as you can because you should be paid for it. And I just want to make it clear that when a company sends you a product, the value of what they're charging on their website or whatever is not the same value as them giving you that product. So if, you know, for example, if they're selling a product for like £100, it might have taken them like £10 to make or something. So technically they're only giving you a £10 product. And that means that if you make even one sale for them, they're already making a profit from that one product that they gave you. And that's what you should be paid. how much I've been paid as an influencer so far. So I'll add a little screenshot because I've got a little pot in my bank account just for Home with Aziza. So as you can see, I don't like it might be a lot to some people, it might be a little to some people, but this is how much I've made on collabs that I've done so far. So the most of that money is from a collaboration with a paint company who paid me £100 to make a video for them, and that was my first paid collab, so I was obviously super happy. And the rest are basically a lot of small businesses kind of paying like 20, 30, all that kind of funds. I do have another collaboration coming up where they're paying me £100 as well, and another one as well where they're paying $100 US. Okay, now let's talk about how to reach out to brands. So again, I'm just kind of going on the basis of things I've learned and read. So like if you want to go for a brand that you really like, then basically just pop them a DM, pop them an email or anything, and I'd state what you can do for them. So, you know, you can make them permanent content to post on their feed. You can make creative content, creative videos for them. Who you are and what is your niche, what product you specifically like of theirs and would want to promote, and if this collaboration you want to be paid for, if you want it to be a gifted one. So that's how I would approach a brand. I've got another question saying that when is the right time to move from gifted to paid collaborations? When's the right time to get collaborations? There is honestly no right time. If you have a public platform, you can always get gifted collaborations, paid collaborations. It's up to you if you want to get paid or not for it. You have to take the jump and basically ask these companies to pay you. And I know that's scary, but I think the first time I did it, like a lot of brands are understanding, so just do go for it. I also had some questions from small businesses about them doing collabs with influencers. So I just want to say, remember, when you want to collaborate with someone, the minimum that you are going to get in return is exposure. And exposure is something that you would have to pay for anyway, pay or work for. As a brand, you would have to, you know, pay for marketing, pay for advertisements, or basically work really hard to make lots and lots of content so your content can eventually end up on someone's page or, you know, blow up and make you sales. At a minimum, from a collaboration, you will get exposure to a whole different audience with that influencer. So the way I see it is that if you'd have to pay for that anyway, why shouldn't you be paying these influencers who are doing all that work for you and bringing in a new audience to you? You are a small business. If you have the capabilities to pay someone, just ask them, just negotiate. Like I said, I charge really less for small businesses, or I do it for free anyway. Or at the minimum, just do a gifted collaboration and just know that in return you will get a minimum of exposure and maximum of sales, followers, all of that kind of stuff. Again, these things all help to boost your business. I know like a lot of small businesses, they expect sales in return for gifted collaboration, and I just don't. I think that's a little bit unrealistic because I think I read somewhere, and I also did my dissertation on this, by the way. I think I read somewhere that a consumer will need to see a product that they want at least up to like 20 to 30 times before they actually purchase it. So just remember that when the influencer that you collaborated with shows your product once, that does not mean that will generate sales that quickly. It just means you will get exposure. The struggle with micro influencers and getting paid is that when a brand asks you to do a collab and you say no, pay me, they'll literally just be like, okay, I'm going to go to someone else who doesn't want to be paid. So I think that's the issue here, is that brands know that they can get away with it because they'll just go to someone else who doesn't care if they get paid or not. That's why I say, like, I think it's literally just up to you as a person. Like, what are you comfortable with doing for free and what are you comfortable with getting paid for? Just take it as a balance. And worst case scenario, you know, at least you can build your portfolio as a small influencer, and then when you reach out to other companies, you can say like, I work with this brand, I work with this brand, and just kind of build yourself up a bit and just be patient. So yeah, please let me know if you have any questions. Please let me know if your experiences and how much you charge. I think we should all be super honest about this so people can actually benchmark. I don't think I would have realized I was undercharging unless I saw a couple of videos about other TikTokers speaking about it. And please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was informative. I hope it helped you. Sorry if it was a bit in random places. Please like and leave a comment and subscribe while you're here. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.